Hello everyone, I'm Tom Raeburn, obviously your fire chief for the town of Innisfil. I just wanted to take this opportunity to update everyone, give them the most update and accurate information we have as of today at 2:25 as I'm recording this on March 25th, 2020. So as you know, there's been lots going on in the world with the COVID-19 outbreak. Innisfil is no different. I know everyone is very aware of the situation and how it changes hour by hour, day by day. It seems like minute by minute. I can tell you that the town has a comprehensive response to how we're dealing with it through all staff. I know a lot of you have seen changes that we've been making to our operations. I know it is upsetting to a lot of people. You may be feeling some anxiety and some stress over the changes in the world, let alone changes we're making in Innisfil Fire in a response to this outbreak. We have had to take some pretty drastic measures, unfortunately, to try to limit the spread of the virus and to practice social distancing. Some of them have been, you'll see, I think you'll see that our calls are down. That is not something we're doing though. That is awesome work by the public. If they're feeling ill or sick, they're not calling 911. They're calling using telehealth or calling their health practitioner, which is great. That means our calls are down, our crews aren't responding to an overwhelming number of calls, therefore not being exposed to the illness unnecessarily. Having said that though, we have limited the response of our volunteer firefighter force in an effort to keep them safe, to keep you safe, and to keep you from contacting the virus, from spreading the virus to your family. Obviously your safety and your family's safety is of our utmost concern. I realize that can be frustrating. Everyone loves it when the tones go off and you get to go and help people. That's what you do. That's why you're in this business. So we don't take these measures lightly. I know it's some normalcy and camaraderie-ship that you are accustomed to, that you enjoy, as do I. But we do have to make sure that we keep you safe. Having said that, our full-time crews are working as normal. Not normal. They have a lot of protocols that they're following, a lot of procedures that have changed. They have to gown up for almost every call, wear enhanced personal protective equipment, which alters their ability to quickly help those that call and that need them. That's frustrating for them as well when it takes them an extra minute and a half to gown up if someone's in distress. That's unfortunate, but we have no choice. We can't have our frontline staff, we can't have you folks, if you respond to a call like that, getting sick, then we can't help the next person. So again, I hate making these changes, but I feel they're necessary to keep everyone safe. Just so an update as of right now, the mayor did declare an emergency as of, I guess it was yesterday afternoon. That would be the March 24th. We have had regular meetings since about a week ago. We started meeting with our emergency control group, which is made up of the mayor, the CAO, myself, Tim McCallum. So Deputy McCallum, he runs the town's emergency program and how we respond to emergencies. So he is the community emergency management coordinator. So it's his responsibility to advise the mayor on when to declare an emergency. He coordinates the town's response to any type of emergency. So he's playing a very big role right now. So you won't see him doing too much or having too much interaction with you folks. As his focus right now is the town's response, not just fire's response. So Tim or Deputy McCallum has been extremely busy over the last 2 weeks, as you can imagine. So we did advise, as the emergency control group, we did advise the mayor to declare an emergency yesterday, as I mentioned. That is after the Simcoe County had declared an emergency, as you're aware, and the province as well. The main reason we did that was to enforce the importance, or to stress the importance, of social distancing. As you and I both see, people are still out with their kids playing at the park, having family dinners, things like that, and that's very disturbing. We can't be doing that, so we did advise the mayor, just to stress the importance of that, was to declare an emergency. Operationally, it doesn't change too much how we do business in the town or in fire. We're still going to rely on you, the volunteers, to respond when called upon. We're going to depend on it, as we always do. Nothing has changed with that. The one thing I do ask, though, is when the tones go and you do respond to a station, is that you, if you're not in the truck, if you're called off for any reason, if you're on standby at the station, that you practice social distancing. I can't stress that enough. I know when you're responding to an emergency, all of our minds go to what can I do, how can I help? If you're not in the truck, what you can do to help is stay a safe distance of 2 meters away from anyone else. If you're in the station, stay back. Yes, chat, do your things. It's great to grab some disinfectant when it's around the station, wipe down doorknobs, light switches, anything that might get touched, but you need to keep your social distancing. Extremely important. I can't stress it enough. The other thing that's extremely important is if you are feeling any of the symptoms, and we've all seen the questionnaires and the self-assessment tools that are out there, please be checking yourself daily. Everyone should be doing that, whether they're in the fire service or not. But especially in the fire service, you need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with your partners, your team members, that if you're not feeling right, if you can't clear yourself using those self-check, that self-check list that comes out from the county and Simcoe County District Health Unit, don't respond. You are not going to be penalized. Just don't respond. There's nothing that could hurt this department more and this community more than if you are not feeling right, you come to the station, you interact with others on your team, now they become ill, now they can't respond. And even worse than that is if you're not feeling right, you pass it on to somebody else at the station, one of your team members, they take it home to a relative that has under chemotherapy treatment, or for some reason has complications in their breathing and in their immunities, and they become extremely ill. This is so important. Please, 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 if you're not feeling well, if something's not right, stay home. Please. A few other things that we've changed in our protocols is the career staff, as they come on to shift and when they leave shift, they need to self-screen. So we have a table set up. There's that questionnaires there. You know, with all those self-screening tools, we have a thermometer there to take their temperature. They have to clean their hands and everything as soon as they come in and check off that they're feeling normal. They then come in their street clothes. They go to the change room. They put on their duty station wear, and then they're ready for work. They do not have coffee break. They mingle as little as possible when the shifts are changing. They can only come in one door where this clean station and assessment station is, and they have to exit through that door when they leave shift. Same thing, going through the self-checklist, cleaning their hands, checking off that they're feeling fine, and away they go. The other thing before they do leave shift is they take off their workwear, they put it in the washing machine that we have on site here, they put on their own personal clothing. After they've showered, first they shower, then they put on their personal clothing that they wear home. Obviously, a top concern to us, as I continue to say here, is your safety and that of your family. So there's nothing that would hurt us more than having one of our staff members spread a sickness or a virus to their family at home. So those are some of the precautions we're taking. Obviously, I talked about the enhanced positive or personal protective gear that they're wearing, You guys all know that. It's all in the Safe Work Practices guideline that Deputy Wilson's put out. So please, if you haven't seen it, email myself or one of the deputies and we will make sure you get it. But I think everybody has that now. So thank you for following that. The other thing I just want to stress is that once, I think it's in that form actually, but in that guideline, sorry, but once you come back from a call, if you are in the trucks, when the truck returns, is to use the disinfectant, clean the inside of that truck thoroughly, using the disinfectant. Every tool that was touched, use the disinfectant and clean it. This is very important, obviously, for the next crew that's coming in that needs to respond in that truck. We need to make sure they're responding in a clean, safe vehicle. What are some of the things else I want to go touch on here? You'll see I'm in my office. We're trying to stay here and be part of the team. We're being pushed pretty heavily by, obviously, the Prime Minister and the Mayor, the Prime Minister and the Premier and our Mayor as well, and CAO, to work from home. We've been resisting best we can because we feel we are part of this team. If we're working from home, how is that fair to you folks that have to come here and respond when called upon? We want to feel like we're not abandoning you. We don't want you to feel that way, so we're trying to come into work. We're not mingling with anyone. I come in the door, I come right into my office here, and I'm here for the day. I do use the washroom obviously, but just make sure that I'm not touching anything and that I'm cleaning well before I touch any surfaces. We are potentially going to be working from home a little more than normal. I believe Deputy Wilson has already moved his office to his home, and he's not very happy about it. He wants to be here with the team as much as I do. I'm going to be moving out of here tomorrow. We're going to see how it goes. We're sort of going to continue to speak virtually. All of our meetings now are done online with the staff, both at the town office staff and with our on-duty crews. It's just not personal. It's not us. We don't like it. So we'll see how it goes. We may return to our offices and just really limit how we interact around the station and with the crews. It's crazy, but I may have to have a meeting with somebody that's in the office right beside me virtually over video conferencing. Seems crazy, but unfortunately that's where we're at. It's kind of the new normal. So just speaking about that new normal, I think it's I just want to tell everybody that if you are feeling anxious, if you are feeling stressed, that is normal. I'm feeling it. I think everyone on the planet is feeling it with all these changes that are going on. It's scary, it's stressful, it's anxious, it makes us all anxious. I know myself, and when I talk with crews, they're here because that's what they do. They help people, but they have big concerns, and legitimate big concerns, about infecting their families when they go home. That's why we're taking every measure possible to make sure that nothing leaves this building and goes to your house. I think all of us are the same. That's why we're on this Innisfil Fire and Rescue team that I'm so proud of, is that we're all here to help people. We realize there are risks in doing that, risks that we accept, but those generally until now have been risks to ourselves. Now I think it makes us anxious and fearful, maybe, that we're not just putting ourselves in danger or at risk. Now we're maybe endangering our family, whether it be our parents, our kids, our wives, our spouses, our husbands, whatever. That I don't think we all signed up for, and I can understand people's anxiety around that. Believe me, it's normal. You're not odd, you're not weak for feeling that way. Everyone is. What I can offer you is the EAP that you all have access to. You know that that number. I will post it. I'm sorry, I should have had all that information with me and I don't have it here, but LifeWorks is the employee assistance program that is offered by the town. It's offered to all of you. It has amazing things, amazing support mechanisms. There's people you can call and talk about financial concerns. There are people you can talk about marital concerns or marital problems or issues that you're having with tips on how to keep your kids engaged and active in these crazy times. Even with some home education stuff is on there. It's an amazing resource that I encourage you to use whenever you need it. It's really fantastic. I've used it many times, and I tell you, it is the people on there that work there are absolutely fantastic. The other option that's always open to you is the peer support team. You folks know who they are. You have their numbers. Reach out to them. I know the peer support team is actively speaking among themselves on how they can help support all of you. They're ready for some of your questions. They're amazing people, as you know. Please don't hesitate to give them a call as well if you're feeling anxiety or elevated stress, or you just want someone to talk to. I get it. They get it. Please reach out. I'm getting new to this type of communication, so please bear with me as I'm trying to read notes off my other screen here. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, again, please review the safe work practice that Deputy Wilson put out. It's extremely important. As things change, that may change. The deputy's doing his best, or we all are doing our best to keep in contact with all of you, to keep you updated. The thing we really all struggle with is as soon as I record this video, 5 minutes after I post it onto YouTube, it's going to be outdated. Something will have changed, and how am I ever going to keep you guys up to date with the most accurate and most up-to-date information? So I'm struggling with how to do that. This is the best way I know how right now. You're always welcome to call us, email us. We'll do our best to get back to you and get you the most accurate information. So that's one thing I worry about is communication. Is as soon as I get it out, it's out of date. So I apologize for that. We're trying to do the best we can to keep everyone engaged. Just so you know, there is a cleaning routine that the full-time staff are doing. They are cycling around the stations doing deep cleaning of all light switches, doorknobs, everything, microwaves, everything that is touched. They are cleaning. I believe the volunteer stations are every 3 days at the stations where we're trying to stay as much as we can, Station 2 and Station 5, as well as Mike Symes and Taylor are down at Station 4 a little bit. They're cleaning those twice a day. The other stations are being deep cleaned, I believe it's twice a week. So we're doing our best to make sure that you have a safe environment to work in. You've probably heard about those large spray, those large things that we go around, we can spray every surface with. We're trying to get them. They're back ordered. We've been trying to get them for weeks. I've ordered 2 of them, so we'll have one at Station 2 and one at Station 5, only because they're the 2 stations that are used most often. But we will be able to put them in the trucks, take them to the other stations, do a deep clean there, and we'll be doing that as regularly as we think we need to, probably once a week. But again, we don't have them. Once they come in, we'll definitely get a routine going and a schedule as to how we can deep clean every station, again, to make sure that when you do come here, it is as clean as possible. Those will also be able to be used, I believe, inside the cabs of the trucks, which should make the disinfecting of the trucks once they've been used by you folks not only easier and hopefully quicker, but also more thorough. My understanding is the way this mist travels and sticks to surfaces, it is much better than wiping down, where it's very easy to miss a spot. This seems like it's going to work better, so we're hoping that we're going to be able to use them inside the cabs of the vehicles as well. Use of PPE, again, take the extra time to make sure that you are fully protected when you do get a call. Obviously, things can't change too much when we're at a fire. When a fire comes in, we're going to do what we have to do. You're going to do what you have to do, but you have to please keep in mind, we want to social distance as much as possible. So although we have to have 2 or 3 people on the line, we have to have hopefully just one person at the pump panel. But when in staging, we need to social distance. We can't all be standing around, where the water bottles are and where the packs are and just chatting like we normally do. Unfortunately, you still need to social distance, even if you're at the emergency scene, even if you're in staging. You need to be paying attention because somebody may be calling you on to do a task, but you cannot be in groups tightly knit like we normally are. Please, 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 if you see that not happening, mention it to someone. Don't just let it keep happening. We've got to try and limit that. Again, at car accidents, the least number of people possible with the patient in the car. We've always stressed about doing extrication and having only the people needed right down at the scene in the hot zone. That is just as much important now, or probably even more. The fewest people that can be in there, the better. The medics don't want us around. They don't want to get exposed to us anymore than we want to get exposed to them. So please, only who needs to be on scene, really in the scene, are the only people that can be there. Going to car accidents, that's going to be awkward for everyone. We want to get in, we want to make a difference, we want to help right away. But we also need to think of our families and our own health, and we have to wear the proper PPE. That may mean putting on a gown. That may mean putting on a mask. That may mean putting on a shield. Whatever we need to do, safety glasses, even if you're not breaking glass. It's all about wearing the PPE that's required when you're dealing with another patient. That is in the Safe Work Practices Guideline, again, that Deputy Wilson put out. Please review it. Please take the time to do it. I know you don't want to and you want to get in and help right away. That's the way you're wired. Right now, you need to take a deep breath, take an extra minute, make sure you've got everything on properly, because we all know at the end of the day, you're the most important and your family. Sorry I keep saying that, but I can't stress it enough. In a lot of this PPE and protocols that we're implementing, it's in consultation with Dr. Ian Young, who is our medical directive advisor. He oversees our entire medical program. We're in constant contact with him. What's changed with this virus? What can we be doing to keep staff safe? So believe me, that is an ongoing conversation. We talk every couple of days to make sure that nothing's changed. He's reviewed our policies, our safe work practices that we've just put out. He believes in them 100%. We reviewed them with him prior to putting them out. So rest assured, we're doing everything we can. There has been some questions that came in. There wasn't too many, to be honest with you. There were only a few. However, sort of the theme of a few that came in was around training. I realize you have all worked extremely hard to build your skill level up to the level that it is, and that's fantastic. You need to be proud of it. I'm proud of everything you guys do. Unfortunately, right now, we're not going to be able to do skill-based, physical, hands-on training. It's just not possible right now. It's not just in Innisfil, it is across the world, unfortunately. So there will be something coming out, hopefully by the end of the week. It may be early next week before it's all up and running, on a bunch of online training that will be offered to everyone. Deputy Wilson is coordinating that along with Training Officer Doyle. They will have some communication out to everyone in the next few days, like I said, maybe next week, and that will outline how you can access the training, what training will be required, and what training resources will be there for you to do. If you're home from work and you're looking for things to do and you want to build on your skills, you'll be able to. Not everything will be compensated for, I have to be honest with you. There will be the regular allotment of training, of required training, same as we do as we have done for years. That won't likely change. There will be, though, access to all kinds of online training for you to work on your own and build your own skills. The other thing that is one of the main questions that were asked is the hall maintenance. So I touched on the hall cleaning. Without all of you folks there to check your trucks on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, there has been some concern about whether the halls are being maintained, whether the trucks are being checked and maintained. I can tell you that they are. Deputy Wilson has set out a schedule for the full-time crews to make their rounds. They do the cleaning at the stations, they check the trucks, they run them up. so that everything should be tip-top shape for when you need to respond to a call. Radios are being charged and rotated out. The gas detectors are being charged and rotated out and bump tested. We're trying to make sure we're catching everything. I'm not saying everything's perfect. You may find a radio that got missed in the switch for the charging cycle. I'm telling you, everyone is doing their very best. The crews that are on duty here are, if they're not doing those rotations and truck checks and equipment checks, they're cleaning. So they're very busy, but they're doing their very best. And I can tell you that everyone's intentions are to keep everything top notch for when you folks respond. And that everything is as clean as possible to make sure it's safe for you. I think that's about all I've got. Again, I'll try and post. Hopefully this works. I hope I hit record. I'm going to be a little embarrassed if I have to do this all over again. Hopefully this works out. I know it's not ideal. Again, if you have suggestions, please get them to myself or one of the deputies. We're looking for the best way to do things. I don't care if it's my idea. I don't care if it's one of our deputies' ideas. I don't care if it comes from the International Union. I don't care if it comes from Timbuktu. If it makes sense and we can implement it and it's the best way to do things, we will do it. I don't have the answers. I don't have all the answers. I'm sure you don't have all the answers, but if we all combine our knowledge, our skills, the things that we've researched, we can develop our systems to make them the best that we can. It's sort of a focus now because of this COVID thing, but that's all the time. That happens. That should be happening regardless of the situation. I'm always looking for input from everyone. Like I say, I don't care if it's the person that started with us last month or the person that's been, Wayne Ayers has been with us for 55 years. I don't care where the solutions come from. If it makes sense and it keeps everyone safe and it's a better way of doing things, let's just do it. I think that's about it. I hope I'm covering everything that you guys need and questions that you have. Please send me questions or go through your captains if you could. Things are pretty busy around here, but if you could send the questions you have, concerns you have to your station captains, they will get them to me and the two deputies, and we will work to get you answers and get out information as quick and as accurately as we can. Thank you for your patience in all of this. This is new to all of us. None of us have had to deal with something like this, so I can tell you, we're all doing our best to support you folks. You're our top priority. Obviously the residents are a close second. We do serve them. They expect a certain level of service, whether it's response times, having the right staffing there. They expect us to look after them no matter what, and we will. We're doing our best, but really I have to stress that our top priority is you folks. You've heard me say it before, you've heard others say it before, that our people and our firefighters are our number one asset, and that is absolutely true. Always is, always will be. Stations are great, trucks are great, tools are great. None of it works without you folks. So again, I'm extremely proud to be part of this team. Extremely proud of the dedication and time that you folks put into this and your passion for what you do and for protecting the residents. I tell you, our mayor and our CAO rave about you folks all the time. I rave about you all the time. You've got super support from everyone here, whether it's fire halls from the deputies and myself, right through to the CAO, the mayor, council. You folks are it. You're the bomb. So thanks for everything you're doing. I am so appreciative of your patience. And again, please get me any questions you have or concerns you have so we can address them as soon as we can. Thanks very much. Stay home, stay safe, and look after your family. Take care, everyone.